Hello, and welcome back to Funnelheads. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be discussing our 5 loves, likes, and dislikes for the Carnival Venezia, which we just recently spent 8 beautiful nights on. Now, we already released our vlog series as well as our full ship tour. We're also going to be doing new Venezia videos, including everything that's included on this ship, review, and so much more. Now, if you are coming across the channel for the first time, we do all cruise content here, whether it's cruise informational videos, vlogs, cruise news, ship tours, and so much more. If cruising is something that you enjoy, consider subscribing, liking the video, sharing with family and friends. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, just put it in the comment section. We'll answer them as soon as possible, but let's get right into today's video. Now, starting off on the love side, in no particular order, number 1 is going to be Serenity, the adults only area, and it is absolutely beautiful on this ship, as well as quite large. It has everything you would need for some peace and quiet or some adult conversation without kids. You have, of course, your hot tubs on either side. You also have plenty of comfy loungers to choose from, including like those clamshell beds. I don't know if you've seen them or not, but they are super comfortable if you're looking to get a little bit of shade and maybe take a nap or read a book. Best spot on the entire ship. The only downside to this area, I would say, otherwise it would be absolutely perfect, is there's no pool in Serenity on this ship. Now, moving on to number 1 for the like side, and that is going to be Java Blue Cafe being all the way on the Lido deck. I know that's such a small, silly change, but it means everything, especially to us, because usually the Java Blue Cafe is somewhere on one of the lower decks. So, we kind of have to split our family up. One person go get coffee, the other person, go up to the Lido deck and, get some seats or get breakfast, this or that. So it kind of splits us up for the day. There are some ships where you can get coffee in different locations, and that's another thing about this ship, is you can actually get coffee from quite a few different bars around the ship. So it makes it a lot easier to grab a coffee on the go. You don't have to wait in, an incredibly long line. Now, saying this, there was quite a big line at Java Blue Cafe on the Lido deck, unless you are, an early riser or you're getting coffee later in the day. So there is that. The line went pretty quickly, but I mean, there's probably anywhere from 10 to 20 people waiting in line for coffees. Now, moving on to number 1 for the dislike side, and this one was actually a pretty big one for us, and that is the smell of smoke, not only in the casino, but also kind of near the casino. There was times where we caught whiffs of smoke in the atrium at different shops around the ship. So I don't know exactly what it is about this ship. I don't know if they need like some type of better system to help ventilate the casino to get the smoke out of there, or what the case is, but it was really bad on this ship. I mean, there was times where we were walking through the casino to get from one point to another, and like my throat would literally hurt, just from walking through, which is never a good, case, obviously. And usually smoking doesn't really bother me all that much. In fact, I actually used to be a smoker when I was in the Marine Corps, so it really doesn't affect me that much, but on this ship, it was certainly a problem. Now, I do appreciate that they had the smoke-free casino, although it was pretty small, located right next to the smoking casino without like any type of door or anything. So, I mean, it did help, but it was literally right next to the other casino. Now, moving on to number 2 for the love side, and that is going to be the interior design of this ship. It is so unique compared to other Carnival ships, except for, of course, the Firenze. They're both inspired by places in Italy, but absolutely beautiful. Now, there were a couple of different like pieces of art that definitely kind of creeped us out a little bit, But other than that, absolutely stunning. And, you know, our eyes just kept wandering from one beautiful piece to the next. And it was literally, we just enjoyed every moment walking through the ship. Now moving on to number 2 on the like side, and that is going to be the Masquerade party or toast, whatever you want to call it. This would basically be like the captain's toast on other cruise lines or Carnival in general, where, you know, the captain comes out with some of the senior officers. They say a little something, toast everybody, and that's basically it. On the Venezia, it is a little bit different, and we absolutely loved it. They were singing some opera, don't know the name, but absolutely beautiful. Everybody was wearing, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but there was a lot of people that got into it with wearing like those masks that you'll see in the video, and it just kind of elevated the experience. They also involved the violinists that were playing for the evening, so it was just a really cool event. Didn't last that much longer than a normal one, but it was just like an elevated experience, and we really enjoyed it. Now moving on to number 2 for the dislike side, and that is this ship got so hot. I know it sounds so silly, and we, you know, left in the middle of summer. It was going to the Caribbean, so obviously, you know, the cruise ship's going to be hot, but this ship specifically, we've never really had it, you know, be this hot before on any of the other cruises that we've been on. And I think it's a couple of reasons, but also while we were, you know, walking through certain areas, particularly the Lido Marketplace or the buffet area, literally the ceiling was sweating in certain areas from the humidity. And I think that's just because there's no airflow on this ship. You know, it's all kind of built up quite a bit. So like the Lido area, the main pool area, for instance, you know, you have all those venues kind of surrounding it with like an itty bitty area that would be the retractable roof. Now it was open, but the wind or whatnot, the air just wasn't getting into, you know, those layers of all the venues. So we found ourselves mostly on the aft pool, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, just be prepared that this ship is going to be quite hot, especially on those above deck areas, those outdoor areas as well. Now I would say that if they move this ship to a different itinerary, maybe somewhere that has a little bit more fair weather, like Alaska, or maybe perhaps like a Mediterranean itinerary, something like that, it would be the perfect ship. Now I don't know, you know, because of its size and all that good stuff, if it could do those itineraries, but because it's got the retractable roof and, you know, it's just a warmer ship, it would be perfect in those areas. Moving on to number 3 on the love side, and that is going to be, we just talked about it, the aft pool area. That entire area, we loved it. This is the area we went to more than anywhere else, whether it was during the day or even at night, just because the air flowed much better here. Of course, you have the pool, you have the hot tubs, but the real reason we absolutely love this area, which I hope that is happening on more and more Carnival ships, is that they actually had live music in the aft pool area, which I've never seen before. Usually there's no music whatsoever, or it's like played, you know, on a speaker system very, very lightly. And this one, we had a full-blown DJ that was playing, you know, one deck above. They, you know, people would request songs, they would do line dancing, and we were just having a great time. Of course, you have the bar right there, you have pizza, seafood shack, you know, at night, and then also a Chinese food, basically like buffet for the lunchtime period. It was the perfect place to, again, pool, play some card games, get some food, and just hang out, have a great time conversing to all the other guests. Now moving on to number 3 for the like side is the Terrazza Carnival. Now we didn't have this specific cabin. If you don't know what it is, basically it's kind of like the Havana cabin for the rest of the Vista class ships. You have your own private area with hot tubs, your own loungers. Now, we of course didn't get to enjoy this area during the day because we didn't have the cabin in order to go there. However, it does open at night, and this was another one of our favorite places to go at night, especially to grab a drink, from the gondola lounge or right nearby, bring it out there and, just converse, enjoy, the stars, your surroundings. We, of course, went with friends, so we were playing some games and just enjoying each other's company. Absolutely beautiful area. Now moving on to number 3 for the dislike side, and that is the layout. Although it is a Vista class ship, and it's very, very similar to the other Vista class ships in Carnival's fleet, whether it's the Vista, Horizon, or Panorama, but with this ship, and I'm sure the Firenze is probably the same thing. We haven't been on that ship, so I can't say for certain, but the higher you get on this ship, the more confusing the layout gets, and I feel like you have to actually go on this ship to understand what I'm saying here, but particularly like the jogging track area, the Carnival waterworks, so your water slides, the spa, even to get to like Serenity, it's all a little bit confusing. I actually almost walked the jogging track almost twice all the way around in order to get down from that deck, which was so silly because, of course, we've been on so many cruises, and I looked at the deck plan. I'm like, how do you get down besides using the elevator? Because there is an elevator, that's in the main lobby near the spa, but there was actually a small staircase that you can get down from the arcade, which, unless you knew it was there, you probably wouldn't come across it. Luckily, the kids had already been to the arcade, so they knew the staircase was there. But yeah, it's really confusing, and I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, maybe somebody else can comment in the comment section below, but I'm pretty sure that you have to go inside the ship in order to get to the water slide. So you either have to climb steps inside of the ship or use an elevator to get to the water slides, which seems crazy to me, but I looked at the deck plan. I didn't see another way to go about, going around that. So let me know in the comment section below if there is. If there is, I'll take it back, but very strange layout, when you get to above, I would say, the Lido deck on this ship. Moving on to number 4 for the love side, and this has a lot to do with the crew on board, especially Mark Q, which we absolutely loved as a cruise director. I know he's on vacation at this moment, but he is coming back to the Venezia shortly. He blew us away. So funny, so personable, but the deck parties on this ship were fantastic, and some of them specifically because of him and his, Carnival Entertainment Squad, the crew. He had a specific deck party that you wouldn't even really know it was a deck party unless you knew about it, because on the Fun Times and in the Carnival Hub app, it basically said like Carnival Deck Trivia hosted by your cruise director. And the reason we went was because we're like, that's strange, there's a trivia on the deck at night with the cruise director. We're like, we got to check this out. And it started as like a music trivia, but then became so much more. It was like his own show that he debuted many years ago. We had no idea about it. Absolutely loved it. Our friend was involved in some of that show. So we had such a great time. But of course, the White Night was terrific. The 80s Rock and Glow, Silent Disco. I'm sure I'm missing some. Sail Away Party, all of that. Just so many fantastic deck parties, and we could really, feel the energy coming from the cruise director and the fun squad. So hopefully you are sailing with Mark Q coming up here when he gets back from vacation. I know Lee Mason's on the ship right now, which you can't go wrong with Lee as well. He's fantastic too. So you're not going to be missing out too much, but if you are going with Mark Q, definitely go to the trivia deck party. Number 4 4 on the like side is going to be the amount of specialty restaurants on board, and they added a new one for this ship in particular. They also have it on the Firenze, I believe, but it is Il Viaggio, which is a specialty restaurant. Of course, they have bonsai sushi, you have the bonsai teppanyaki, which is basically hibachi, Fahrenheit 555, their steakhouse, the seafood marketplace, so much more. I can't even think off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2 specialty restaurants, but all of them are, you know, great in their own way, all pretty inexpensive. Now, our 2 favorite specialty restaurants on board are Bonsai Sushi. We typically will do this on every single Carnival cruise, at least the sit-down one. Sometimes they have like the Bonsai Express that we will usually skip, but a great, pretty inexpensive specialty restaurant that you can get in and out of there pretty quick if you wanted to. Of course, they're not rushing you whatsoever. Another one we really enjoyed on this ship was Il Viaggio. Just know going in there, you know, definitely bring your appetite because the portion sizes are out of control in this restaurant. We left there in physical pain because we were so full, but we didn't want to waste the food, of course. Now, number 4 on the dislike side wasn't a huge thing, but it was something that we were saying before we got on this ship. You know, they kept advertising, you know, Costa by Carnival, Carnival fun, Italian style, and there was definitely pieces of that we saw. Of course, we mentioned the Masquerade party. They did have like a Festiva Italian night up on the Lido deck. Of course, the interior design was heavily, you know, influenced by parts of Italy, you know, drinks, food. There was definitely Italian flavor sprinkled about, but I would have liked to see, I don't even know exactly what, but just a little bit more of that Italian, you know, fun, that Italian flavor. And again, I don't really have any ideas of what they could do differently. My expectations, me and Michelle's expectations getting on this ship, we were just expecting a little bit more, I guess different would be the best way to put it. It was kind of like, you know, Carnival, but the same old Carnival, which is not bad whatsoever, but we were just expecting it to be quite different, and it was a lot more of the same, if that makes sense. So not a huge deal whatsoever, but it was on our mind and worth noting as well. Now moving over to the love side, number 5, and that is going to be literally all the shows, all the live music that is sprinkled throughout this entire ship. We loved everything. We, you know, were upset, or not upset, but we were sad, you know, when we had to choose one thing over another because, you know, where we were at was so much, you know, fun, and we loved listening to, you know, this band, but we did want to go, you know, upstairs to hear them. And, you know, we kept missing out on a lot of the live music, a lot of the different game shows, but everything that we attended was so good, so funny. I mean, we did a lot of the variety shows, including, you know, Family Feud, which of course you can't record in there. Hilarious. We did Quest with Mark Q, which if you don't know what Quest is, it's like an adult scavenger hunt almost. It can get pretty naughty. It's very late in the evening. So if you've never done Quest, but want to either A, participate, or B, just watch, highly recommend. Just if you get offended easily, it's definitely not the show for you. That was great. But then of course, you know, all of, like I already mentioned, the deck parties, the love and marriage show, they had different variety acts that we really enjoyed, and just overall a great experience. Also the piano bar with Gustavo was a really great time in the evening as well. Now number 5 on the like side is going to be Frizzante. We love this bar, and for whatever reason going into the cruise we thought Amari was going to be, you know, our place to go because it was more like Alchemy, you know, on this ship, and we love us some Alchemy, you know, on other Carnival ships. So we're like, Amari is definitely going to be where, you know, we meet up or we have some drinks each night, and it was not. We only went to Amari maybe once Frizzante is where we went. I don't know if it was because, I mean, the bartenders were excellent at Frizzante. The drinks were terrific. We kept getting, you know, espresso martinis and different, you know, types of spritz and things of that nature. And it was really nice because you had Frizzante bar, you had a nice, of course, you know, bar top. There was a nice sitting area that, you know, actually would like interact with the guests. You know, the louder the area was, the bubbles would get bigger and bigger and pop. And then also you had the option to, you know, go outside on the, what I would like to call like the lanai area. So you can literally just take your drinks and go immediately outside and get some comfy seats and enjoy, you know, the scenery all around you. So it was one of our favorite spots. It was our meetup spot each and every night. You know, again, we thought it was going to be Amari or the Atrium, and it was totally Frizzante. So absolutely awesome spot on this ship. And last but not least, number 5 for the dislike side, and that is going to be the spa on board. I don't even know if I would call it the spa. It is the smallest spa I have ever seen. Now, I think it's unfortunate that we just got off the MSC Meraviglia the week before we got on the Venezia, and we did, for the first time ever, like the 1 hour free, basically, spa pass or whatnot. That's included in your, you know, loyalty card or whatnot. And so we loved the spa on the Meraviglia. We were only in there for like an hour and a half, but, you know, tried all the different showers, you know, the different hot tubs, this and that, all the different saunas and rooms. And it was pretty big on the Meraviglia, although some of the guests that were in the spa said it was quite small to other MSC ships, so I was kind of blown away by that. I couldn't imagine a bigger area, but so anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So that's the reason I think that the Venezia spa seemed so small, but it really was. I mean, unless you're going in there for a specific treatment or massage, there's really no point of going, in my opinion anyway. They have, you know, a couple of saunas in there, so if you want to get your sweat on or relax a little bit, they do have that. Beautiful views of the ocean, but both, you know, both of these areas are quite small. And then they have literally what I would call a bathtub. You better know the person that you're going in this, you know, with, otherwise it's going to be super awkward and uncomfortable, because I mean, we didn't even go in it, but it would have been super tight for just me and Michelle to go in it if we wanted to. So again, beautiful views, you know, beautiful area, venue, but quite small. So if you're somebody that loves the spa, you know, this ship, unfortunately, the spa is kind of an afterthought, in my opinion. But anyway, that is our loves, likes, and dislikes for the Carnival Venezia. Of course, we can do a larger list, so if you want a part 2, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you liked, loved, or disliked about this ship as well. Would love to read all about it. Of course, if you have questions, you know, comment, and I'll answer them as, you know, they come in. If you would do me a favor, hit like on the video. It helps tremendously. If you love, you know, cruise content, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. Hopefully we'll see you right back here in the next video or on a cruise ship one day. Catch you later.
I woke up with the sun today, rolled out of bed and said, I'm gonna have some fun today, and that's just what I did. The birds were singing, come outside, I felt giddy like a kid. If life is like a swimming pool, you know I'm jumping in. We got the perfect summer day, so put me in your plans. You know that this doesn't happen every day, so everybody clap your hands. Cause when we raise on high, every hand in the sky, we're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud, soaking up the lovely weather, everything just comes together. I woke up feeling good today, my journey has begun. I gotta give a shout out to the green grass and the sun. It's a long way off, a tricky shot, but I know it can be done. Another day, another game, another hole in one. Yeah, we got the perfect summer day, so put me in your plans. You know that this doesn't happen every day, so everybody clap your hands. Cause when we raise on high, every hand is just so fine. Wish I could bottle time, cause if you only pause, you'll hear the crowd applaud. They're cheering for you now. Stand up and take a bow. You know that you deserve it. Today is picture perfect. Raise them high, every hand in the sky. We're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Shout it out, make some noise, make it loud. Soaking up the lovely weather, everything just comes together. Clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. We're the super fans, feeling grand in the grandstands. Clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. We're wishing it could last forever, baby. Put your hands together. That's why we clap our